Okay, so today I'm joined by man about Newmarket and renowned punter, Martin Raymond. Thanks for giving up some of your time, Martin. I'm sure your nose is sore from the form books. Um, before we start all the fun, I got to say I'm very sorry to hear about your dad. I never met him, but the guy even from my village went up. He was that well thought of. So we're very sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. It was a good turnout for him. A lot of people there. Good send off. Sort of send off he deserved. So, I think everybody there really wanted to be there, and it was a sort of sad time, but a good send off for him.
Excellent. And I've got to say, you're looking quite trim. Have you been on those jabs?
Could be your glasses, Simon. No, no, I did have. I've been the same weight since April now, mid-April, but I did have a. I started to lose some weight because I had to for health reasons, although I've been eating whatever I wanted to and eating crap and drinking plenty for 30 odd years. And then I got some sort of, not a health scare, but I thought it's best I do something about it. And then two very good friends of mine stepped in with a whacking great bet, said you won't get down to 70. So I had to, I knew I was going to. I bet evens, and I should have been 1 to 1,000 because with all the booze I was having and crap I was eating, I knew I was an absolute shoo-in. So I got the weight off with 2 weeks to spare, and I've probably hovered around the same since. Walking, Simon, that's the key. Walking with a sweatsuit on, fast, not walking like Tony Elf shuffles up and down the high street looking to talk to people. Get out, get a sweatsuit on, and pelt like hell as quick as you can. But I was doing it in from March, and it was sunny in March, so I was sort of a fair weather walker. Got a tan at the same time. It was great. It was easy, and then got paid.
Good man. Especially get them getting paid. Is if there's ever an incentive, it's winning a whack of money, isn't it?
I joined a gym, Simon, and I hate gyms. I joined a gym for temporary for a month, and sat in the sauna with a sweatsuit on in the sauna, with people looking at me like I was mad. But there was no way I was going to lose that bet, and I would have sat in there for 2 days if I had to collect the money. So I had plenty up my sleeve if things went off plan.
Plenty of bulging biceps as well. Then by the sound of that,
No, 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 no. I'm skinny.
that lovely Indian at the top of Newmarket High Street must be suffering a bit though. If you've been
I'm still going out, still going out, and I'm still going in there yet.
now,
I haven't changed all my eating habits.
it's been a while since we've done one of these things. I mean, since I first met you, which is probably 2018, 2019. You're now the punter 2020 on Instagram, which probably hints to when you started doing that. Now you just said you won a load of money losing weight. There's a couple of really funny videos that people should go on there to see where you're trying to win money doing something a little bit more dangerous. I mean, tell us about that jumping in the where is it in the Middle East somewhere? And it looks like somewhere where
No,
the oil tankers go.
that was in Bahamas. So a couple of friends of mine we were over in the Bahamas, and we would sort of put each other up to doing things, and you bet you wouldn't do this, and how much would you do that for? Anyway, they said, "Go on, you've got." It was swimming across the mouth of a marina, like where the sort of boats go in, and it wasn't really possible to do. I'd probably be able to do it now. I've lost my weight, but at the time I was 17 kilo heavier, dressed up in jeans and shorts and whatever, and I wouldn't have swum any. I wouldn't have been able to do it at all. But anyway, the dare came on, two of them, and a fairly sizable sum that I would have always attempted to do, and I was allowed two breaths to try and get across, but only two. And I've not got a bad dive on me, Simon. So when I dived in, you can hear them saying, look out, he's going to do it, he's going to do it. We need him up, we need him up." And then, of course, once you come up the first time, I was gasping. And then you've got nothing to kick off for the second breath. And I knew I was cooked. And yeah, I didn't make it. I didn't have goggles on. At 6 o'clock in the morning as well. I'd got off a flight the night before. So everything was really against me. And then we tried the next morning to do it again, and one of the fishermen said, "Which one of you idiots was swimming in there yesterday morning?" And I was like, "Oh, that was me." And they said, "You are complete idiot. He said, "There's bull sharks in there. There's stingrays in there." He said, "We were like, what's a bull shark?" "Oh, it's the next one down to a great white." We were like, "Oh God, that's I shouldn't have attempted that challenge." But anyway, I live to tell the tale. But if they're watching, I never got paid a shilling for it. I think they're in the
Outrageous.
book.
Not to mention you could have got run over by a multi-million-pound super yacht or something if it's in the
Yeah,
marina.
I think I'd have spotted that one coming.
Anyway, like I mentioned, you're a man about town in Newmarket. Obviously, it sounds like your social life has been a little bit less. So how is life in Newmarket at the moment? How's the town? Is it still buzzing?
Just had the Cambridgeshire meeting. It was busy when the racing was on. I don't really go out in town when the racing's on. Try and keep a low profile. Pubs are always packed. Can't stand that. But yeah, town's all right. Go up on the gallops quite a bit when I can. Got a couple of shares in horses that I go and watch every now and then. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. I don't think Newmarket will change. Everything's exactly the same about it. A few new restaurants opening and a few closed. That's about the only changes that happens in Newmarket at the minute.
You go up on the gallops in your sweatsuit.
No, I'm creeping about behind trees with a pair of binoculars, trying to get an edge.
Is there people still do that?
Well, I have. I've been up there a couple of times. Sometimes when I've had to do videos for my website, and I've cottoned on to one or two sort of things. Or if I've got one of my own working, we try and get out there early in the mist when nobody else is going to be over there to see it. So yeah, there are people that do it, but I go out at peculiar times where I'm not going to get seen too much.
You said about sort of keeping a low profile. Now, all joking aside, you are a very well connected person, and there's people that you sort of hang around with. I would probably get in all sorts of trouble if I even mention their names on here. I mean, we
Hmm.
did your interview at one of those type of people's houses. I mean, you know, are they still managing to circumvent everything and win? And can they still get on, or has it got more and more difficult for people like that?
Yeah, there it's kind of put on the back burner really now. Everybody has the problem of getting on. I don't really so much because I'm not, I don't have my bets aren't that huge. I've got people to go to help me get bigger bets on if I want. But those sort of guys, the bet fair's completely gone. There's no money in the boxes. The in running's gone. You're taking drippings all the time, and you know what I'm talking about. They're not the sort of person it's not in their DNA to go and take 6-4 about something that's been 5-1. So no, they've moved on from that and the next project as such. But everybody's still looking to try and if you can see something, we'll try and have a crack at it. But you got to keep your bets sort of a few cut size, keep your bets up, but the quantity down.
Now, obviously, the sort of people we're talking about would be extremely ambiguous. But when you say they're moving on, are they moving on into other punting sort of areas? Are they totally just bin the racing altogether?
Um, Owning really, they've moved on to sort of owning more and more horses and the breeding of them. And I think their sort of gambling side of it goes into whether or not they buy a horse at the sales, spin it off, sell it for a few quid. Um, and I suppose they're carrying on like that. There's quite a few of them doing that as well, isn't it? But yeah, the big successful punters, I think, have moved into the buying of the bloodstock and breeding them rather than just punting them now. Here's your classic example: the guy that's from up north. What's his name? He's got all the horses in the white colours.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Nick Bradley. He was the same successful punter, and now he's just sort of successful syndicator. And I think they're all different angles. Everybody's still involved in racing, just trying to find the best way to get more money out of it.
yeah, I suppose the smallest breeder is probably one of the bigger gamblers if you put it in relation to sort of betting on horses. There's a lot of
Yeah,
stake in there.
well, we've bought a couple that produced too much. Sold small fry last year, for that did all right. That was a great horse for us. Bought it for 20, sold it for 100, had 80 grand in prize money, few good touches out of it. Went in to do it again, and we'll see what happens moving forward. But it's not always a success story. There's plenty of disasters along the way, sort of thing. So, but we had our fun and had our day in the sun with that, and hopefully we'll get a couple more like him. Jamie Moore had that, and Gary Moore did a brilliant job.
That's the sort of dream that keeps everybody going,
Yeah,
isn't
oh
it?
yeah. I wouldn't have. I'd said give that away a couple of times. Took it jumping once, had my brains on it. Give it away, you can have it. But they persuaded me otherwise, and I'm pleased I'm in. It was in the Iris's Harwich at the weekend. It looked like winning that for a bit. €330,000 to the winning prize. I did back it just in case. I thought I better have something on it just in case this annoys me. But no, good luck to them. I think it's going to go down to Australia, and good lads that bought it, a couple of Aussies, and wish them all the success down there. Should win a couple of nice races for them.
Well, that was your dad's game, wasn't it? After he retired from the saddle, the sort of the bloodstock and sourcing horses and stuff. So, did you sort of learn much?
Um, I was always in the punting side of things rather than I could look at a horse and tell him and say, well, that looks horrible and that looks well, sort of thing. I don't think that's you have to be Einstein to do that. But I'm not exactly a paddock judge, so I learned bits and pieces off Dad. But more importantly, I'm still very well. I'd like to think I'm good friends with a lot of Dad's trainers and all the jockeys that rode for him, sort of thing. I'm still in contact with most of them all the time, and the better judges, obviously, I use that to my advantage still.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about what, but you've got sort of other business interests as well. So you sort of ticking along parallel to the racing. It's the it's the sort of do you get enjoyment from the sort of watching a horse develop and sit, the sort of anticipation in seeing how it gets on, even if it does end up with a bit of a flop. Is that sort of something that you think you're getting value out of the fun?
Difficult to say, isn't it? I don't think you get much value when you have your brains on them and they get beat. It's just a long way home, so I don't go racing as much as I should do. I think we went to Epsom and it won, and I got back in and I had a few friends around me, had a couple of quid on it, and 10 minutes into the car journey on the way home, I wish I hadn't gone because I just can't face the 3 hour journey home from Epsom. So I probably don't get as much fun out of it as I should do. But it's great saying that when they do win. It is great fun. It is the best feeling in the world. But you've got to take the rough with the smooth. But there's a lot of roughs and not much smooth. So, uh, I do enjoy it, and we try and make a weekend of it. And we've had a couple of trips abroad and a couple of winners there as well. And that's always good fun. But the travelling home when they haven't won and you've lost is literally outweighs the fun days. Something massive. So I'd rather be watching it at home and then straight down the pub for a couple and down my sorrows down there. At least I haven't got to have the travelling.
Right, do I take it from what you're saying that you're not the best loser when it goes wrong?
No, no, I'm a good loser. I don't mind losing. I don't mind losing. You can't win them all. I'm quite happy that, to everybody loses, don't they? You can't win them all. You have to take it on the chin. But losing and then travelling is a real bad combination. I mean, really bad. Your feet feel like lead. You're sitting in traffic on the M25 home. You're going to get a 2.5 grand training bill through for something that's not very good
You're not
at the
selling
end
it
of the
to me, Mark.
month. Huh? I'm not exactly selling the dream, am I? But the good days are good, and you have to make them count. That's why it's important to sort of try and connect when you do. Pull the trigger when you've got one.
Now, talking about pulling the trigger, so we talked you were the punter 2020 on Instagram. So that's what 5 years ago now. You obviously set that up. I'm assuming that you started doing that because you find it difficult, like everybody else you mentioned, to get the money on. So this sharing your info from all your
Yes,
contacts.
we've got that going. I think I've got a website, martinraymond.co.uk. Everything is on there. We've got another subscription service as well. That's only 20 quid a month. That does really, really well. No end of winners go on there for a sake of a fiver a week. it's an absolute no-brainer. And then a kind of like a private service as well, which just prints money really for the punters and does well for us. So it's a way of me being able to keep my contacts, service my contacts, which I said to you before. You must pay people well. The good people they have to be looked after. The ones that just don't stop giving you losers, get rid of them, sack them, and it's you're left with the golden few nuggets as such. Very few people I listen to now, but those that I do are worth talking to.
There's that probably explains why you've got a little more bullish over the years because there's nice videos of you going into home base and buying a wheelbarrow. But these days, when you got a fancy one, you stood next to a bloody skip.
Yeah, we've had a skip job come off, had one go down. They don't all win. And when they do go down, I suffer and suffer badly. It's bad, really, really, really badly, because obviously I back my tips myself a lot. And the skip job or a wheelbarrow job is I am balls deep. So if they're going to do their money, trust me, I've done a lot more of it. So you can't expect people to back a horse for you and you not do your own, which a lot of these other guys do. But I'm not really too worried what anybody else does. I'm sort of really just quite happy doing what we do. It's going very well. Members are coming in, but more importantly, it's a way to sort of help getting your money on really. And yeah, it's because you can't. Everybody's accounts are closed down. Source of funds, blah blah blah. Don't You don't need me telling you. It's a boring story now, isn't it?
Yeah, now the flat season's coming to an end. I'm pretty sure you told me before that you're not overly well. We won't see you at Cheltenham, will we? Put it that way.
No, but a couple of my people, my right-hand man who's worked in the office for me, is very into his jumps, got quite a few jump horses himself, so we get plenty of help there. They've been doing really, really well. I think we've been putting a couple of jumps winners up lately. So yeah, the flat season's closing. Plenty to look forward to on the all-weather though for the coming few months. I'll be fairly active on that. So yeah, no, plenty going on, Simon. I won't be putting my feet up just yet.
You
But
get involved in that all weather stuff in the winter then.
yeah, I like the all weather. I like Lingfield. Lingfield and Kempton are my favourite tracks. Kempton went a bit wonky the other day when it was so hot and it melted the track and the times were all slow. I think they threw the form book out the window. But I like Lingfield. Always got good money at Lingfield and always seem to win there.
You don't ever go and stick it on with the bookies on course. Obviously, you don't like them
Sometimes,
racing.
sometimes there's one or two that I like to say I don't bet absolutely massive, but I don't really generally have too much of a problem getting on unless you're trying to land a real tickle at a big price, which then obviously needs a bit more plotting and planning and a few bodies here around and in a few shops and anyone else that can help you. But general day-to-day stuff, I don't really have a problem with.
Right, Mark. Final question. I know you got a lot of plotting and planning probably to get back to. So when do you set off with Barbados? And how long do you stay there in the winter?
I haven't been there for a few years. I keep going to Dubai quite a bit, but time's good over there. Went the other couple of days the other day after Dad's funeral, funny enough. But it's NFL season, Simon, so that fits in nicely. So we got ourselves pitched up in a sports bar, smashed into the bills. They paid for the holiday. It's great, but I quite like the timing in Dubai. It was 3 hours different. Got sun, got everything you need over there. I quite like it. I'm not too keen on the Dubai. I haven't been watching much of the Dubai racing sort of thing. I suppose you got that coming up as well for the winter. Um, but I love the NFL. I don't know if I'm kidding myself, but I seem to make money on the NFL. So we were back in the Ravens, but they've lost their last couple of games, and I'm not sure. I think it's wide open this year, the Super Bowl. So I'll definitely be taking some time and going and watch Miami. They won last night, um, and I think that's a good place to be if you can get yourself over there rather than Barbados. I'd sooner be in Miami for a couple of weeks. There's a bit more action over there.
So you get the NFL. You sort of studying that yourself? Would you get your card marked? Is there something you're
No,
interested in?
I study that with myself and my two very close friends who are also big into their NFL. So Yeah, I think it's so we had a well, I suppose everybody had a winning year last year because those were the favourites won, and we got done in the Super Bowl. But so far this year, so far so good. I'm building up my tank nicely, but I'm not so sure who's going to win the Super Bowl yet. Like we were all in on the Ravens, but I don't know if that's going to be the end of the case now. What the
Okay.
Bills are about 4-1. Um, be some good games. It's not great timing for us. Some of the best games are on at 1:15 in the morning, so we impose a fine on each other. For those of you who are not watching it, they get fined. So we're all there sitting at 1:15 in the morning with our eyes open like that and have to sit there for 5 hours. One of my pals is in France, so he's a bit of a let off because he's got an hour ahead of us, so he can get some sleep beforehand. But yeah, that's what we do.
Brilliant.
Instant
Okay.
fine if you're not watching.
Where does the fine money go then?
In the pot. We have a pot for three of us, and then they get fined and they have to stick it in the pot. And when then we share our bets out, do it as a pool.
That's the way to do it. Brilliant stuff. If people have enjoyed this, which I'm sure they have, if they could like and subscribe the channel, it helps get these videos out there a bit more. I'll put it's martinraymond.co.uk, you say? Oh,
MartinRaymond.co.uk.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
put the link up if you're looking on my
I
website or on
think
the
the
YouTube.
Patreon one is on there somewhere, Simon. I'm not sure what the exact link is
Okay.
for that, but they'll find it on there, and one of the guys in the office will get back to them. You can register for free. That's the best bet. Just go on there, register for free, and then one of the lads in the office will come back and do everything else for you. But it's money for roll rope. I'm not guaranteeing you'll win, but you'll back plenty of winners, and it's good value.
And if you want to watch Martin unwittingly volunteering himself as bull shark bait, you can go to the Punter 2020 on Instagram. There's loads of fun stuff on there. And well, it's really hopefully get to see you in real life again soon, Mark. The next time up in Newmarket. Until then, keep chopping it
Shout
off.
me out, Simon, and we'll go and do our customary Indian and a few beers, and
Excellent.
then you'll carry me out the next morning. Every time you come down, I finish up with a real bad head the next day.
Hey, listen,
Not good.
the last time I was there, I woke up on Tony Elves's sofa.
Oh, well, you don't want to be doing that.
No.
I was going to say something, but I'm not. 'Cause kids
he
might be
was
watching this.
he, he wasn't on it with me anyway. That's it.
He's
So that
still
was like a
about. He's still
yeah.
about. I don't know how. I don't know how. He's still about. I do see him. Yeah. He's still about
I've seen him at the
drinking.
races a couple of times. Yeah, he's a top
Hmm.
man as well. Okay, Mark. Well, thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate this. I'll get this stuck up there. Punter 2020 and the website will be down there. And like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Thanks very much,
All
Mark.
right, Simon. Take care. I'll see you
Yeah,
soon.
see you,
Bye, mate.
mate. Hello, everyone. Just a quick one. If you have enjoyed these videos and are enjoying these videos, can you please like and subscribe to my channel? Thanks very much.